happen. So if I write a will draft as matana mechaim, it's not good enough. So we have to find another solution. So another solution is usually added or comes instead of this phrasing of matana mechaim, is the concept of shtar, chatzi, zachar. A document of a half a male. Not such a good translation. Well, that comes from, originated already in the time of the Rishonim, in the Kehilot of Ashkenaz, is that people would wanted the girls. That was the beginning of the feminist revolution. I don't know. They wanted the girls at least to get, if not a full portion of what the boys get, but at least a half a portion of what the boys are getting. Chatzi zachar, yeah, at least. Okay, shtar chatzi zachar. But the halachic concept is the same. There's also afterwards shtar zachar shalem, but the concept is the same. And how does this work? This system works in the following way. There is a concept in halacha called odita, called the hoda'ah. If a person admits or obligates himself to a certain debt, he can do that even on things that he doesn't own yet. If I obligate myself to a debt, I can obligate myself to a debt that'll come into effect even on things I'm going to acquire in the future. So how did they get around? How did they make sure that the girls get what they thought to be in those days a fair portion? They created kind of a fiction, but a real system. They said as follows: I obligate myself to a tremendous debt that is probably worth maybe 90% of my assets to the girls. Unless all the other inheritors implement what I write in the will, and in that case, I'm not obliging myself to pay. That means that if you're creating a kind of a system, it creates a situation that if the inheritors do what's written in the will, so then the debt gets canceled and the assets get divided as the person who wrote the will wants. But if they do not follow what's written in the will, so then they're going to have to give a tremendous amount of money. All of it, they won't get anything. So it's or you do the will, or you get nothing. That's the system that they created. That's what the system of shtar chatzi zachar. So as we said, ein adam makneh davar shelo ba'olam. A person cannot do a kinyan transaction and give now something that does not own, but you can create a debt on things that you do not own yet. And by creating this system, in an indirect way, you're creating a system that actually forces the people who are the potential inheritors to fulfill your will. And there is a specific way of drafting this nusach of shtar chatzi zachar, and in that way you can make sure that your will actually be enforced, because it'll create a system where it's in everybody's interest to do what you wrote there, or else you're going to lose everything. So if your dilemma is, I get nothing, or at least I get something, you may as well get something. I mean, there could be extreme cases where a person goes crazy and says, well, you know what? Gam li, gam lach lo yeh. Okay. You know what? I don't get, you don't get. Okay. There's no 100% in this world. There's no system will cover every case. But this system at least covers most of the scenarios that will happen and actually solves all of them.